Okay, I think we're on air now. So, hi, say hi, and tell us about yourself and your organization.
Well, absolutely. So it's my pleasure to get this opportunity, of course. My name is Sergejus, and I'm from Transparency International Lithuania. It's an NGO that works with anti-corruption and transparency, and much more, as a matter of fact, in Lithuania and the region. We really see ourselves as change makers, change engineers, social developers, if you will, because at the end of the day, it's not about how much we do, but how much people around us get engaged in anti-corruption and transparency. And it's all about how much we can help them achieve their goals and their visions.
Yes. So how you start the idea to make change on this organization, TI?
Well, TI Lithuania is 15 or 16 years old. I joined the organization about 10 years ago, and for the past decade or so, what I have been privileged to be a part of is this change from a classical NGO doing a lot of interesting, novel work, setting out the scene, understanding with the help of different research what the major problems are, into an NGO that now which really sees itself as a platform, as a sort of a large ship, if you will, that allows others to sometimes put their planes on and helicopters on and rest a little bit and use us as a base for their own activities. You know, I believe that NGOs nowadays are not so much about just having a team and doing different advocacy work, but about making sure that they use every single opportunity that they get with young, inspiring people, older professionals who are interested in the issue and can react to their demands proactively. A lot of times it's just once a year. For instance, just a few days ago, we were launching, together with our colleagues from the Lithuanian Medical Students Association, an anti-corruption campaign in the healthcare sector. A huge problem in the country when it comes to corruption, bribery, corruption in public procurement, pharma, doctors' relations. But this is something which we are doing all together, and this is something which we can help young students and young professionals do, and it's a win-win, because this year, for instance, we had more than 70 hospitals and polyclinics all around the country joining the initiative, publicly stating their position against taking bribes, inviting the Minister of Health to speak, inviting different honorary guests to actually attend the event, the launch, and now it's all around the country. And this is something which we at TI Lithuania would see as a huge success, not because we did it, but because we were a part of something that others on the inside of the community were able to do once again. And this action has been there for the past 5 years, growing every year, and that's the way I suppose we have learned to understand our success as well.
I see. So what's the different or new challenge you are facing today?
Well, the challenges are of course in many ways the same. I think that a lot of NGOs being active and all in the midst of their frenzy of getting involved in so many amazing and interesting things, being activists by nature, forget that it's essential to make sure that you're also sustainable and that you can plan your work not just for a couple of months ahead, but for a couple of years. And this is something which you have to see as a marathon, not as a sprint. And for that, you need to work with your partners, make sure that people understand what you do, because there's an essential difference between believing in what you do and others joining your cause, supporting your cause, not necessarily with funds, but with resources. I also think that it's essential to make one's message even simpler. We live in the world that is so fast, and it's changing every day. You have to make sure that people can relate to what you're doing, and this is something which is on you. You cannot assume that people will do that just because you're so fun and interesting. And the other thing, of course, is that technology is being such an essential part of our everyday life. And if you just stay in your office by your desk and will stick to the old-fashioned ways of the 20th century and forget that you have to be online, you have to be interactive, you have to use open data, and you have to make sure that you're topical, addressing the same old issues that are not going away that easily, I think you're in for a failure. And this is what we're trying to make sure we have here in Lithuania. And so far we, I must admit, have been successful. We are growing. We see that more and more people are engaged in their individual quests for anti-corruption and transparency through different online tools that we provide. And we're getting into really new, interesting areas such as the use of social design in promoting greater accountability, transparency in such areas as the healthcare sector or academia.
So it's very fascinating. Three of us are working on NGO too. So maybe Shufang, do you have other questions?
Yes. In your opinion, is the global civic tech community actually bring impacts?
That's actually a really good question. I think it nails the issue that I hope we'll also be addressing at the g0v Summit. I think what we still have nowadays in the global NGO activist community is a bit of a disconnect between the work on the ground and all the inspirational visions that we often read about and discuss in such fora. And I think that the good thing is that slowly the tech community, the NGO community, the advocacy community are pooling their resources together and understand that it's not about competition, it's really about working together and making sure that you can make technology work in practice on a larger scale. And it's not just an elitist exercise of think tank activists, think tank people, activists, or social developers and hackers, but the real issue is, and the real success would lie in making sure that the wider public starts using what we develop and what we come up with. And you know, the dream could be quite simple. We all have our mobile phones, our smartphones, and if we can translate all the work that we do in just one app that people use on their daily basis, I think that would basically be the answer to so many questions.
Yes, yes. Okay. What session in our summit sounds most interesting to you?
I just had a look at the agenda once again, and I must admit I'm really excited. I think that you guys have a really I am, of course, very interested in open cities, open data, and yet I'm also very keen to see that you have such things as arts, and you understand, it seems, that it's essential to continue to propel this conversation and get it out of the box and link different fields of work and knowledge that previously were never linked before. And I think that the beauty of such fora is precisely that. You know, you have really smart people, scientists, scholars in the fields of physics, mathematics, chemistry, biology, you name it. And I think the challenge is to make sure that we get the best of their ideas into our group talks and make sure that how to use their conclusions for engaging more people and making democracy work.
Thank you very much. I think that's all our questions here. And thank you so much for your time to do this interview. And
well, it was a pleasure.
Yeah, we are looking forward to have you in Taiwan. And in my personnel, we work on NGO, so we are very excited to hear your experience.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really looking forward to seeing you guys, and I'm sure we'll have a blast.
Yes. So I'm get off air now.